All right. Hello, everybody. How are you today? Gotta get myself straightened up. It's been a busy day, had some voting going on, and we're about ready to get started to go live with our second interview for He Leads Benton, Arkansas. We're going to have an amazing special guest with us in just a moment. We're going to try something new where I'm actually going to invite somebody in to the video. So as soon as I see that they are on live, then we are going to do that. So as you guys know, He Leads Benton, Arkansas is coming September 8th. If you are in the Arkansas area, we're talking Little Rock, Hot Springs, Benton, Bryant, any of those towns, anywhere in that's area, you're going to want to get there. It's going to be at the Benton Event Center all day from 8 to 4. So let me add our speaker so that to him, and we'll get started here in just a minute. All right, so here we are. There we are, Mr. Chris Rollins, everybody. Hello, sir. How are you?
Great. Good evening, Chris. Good to see you, my friend.
Yeah, sorry I'm running kind of a few minutes late. I was trying to do something special for Toastmasters tonight, and of course, all the timing, was about 10, 15 minutes behind schedule. So I ran in here as quick as I could. So I know I'm a couple minutes behind. I apologize.
No worries. No worries.
So Benton, Arkansas, September 8th, He Leads Men's Professional Leadership Conference. Man, I'm excited, and I'm excited to have you. So the first thing is, most people that follow me that aren't connected with us some way, shape, or form don't really know who you are. So the first thing I would like to do is just, hey, give us a couple minutes about who you are, what you do, and why you're kind of interested in being a part of this He Leads conference.
I appreciate that, Chris. First off, welcome everyone. Chris Rollins. I am the founder and president of Rollins Performance Group. My wife and I run that company. We travel around the country, basically focusing on, really helping build leadership and sales teams through what I consider a three-piece process, if you will. We call it our 3C model of high performance. It really focuses on communication, connection, and conversion. The three key skills that help any business grow and achieve sustainable ongoing growth. But that's what we do. When you talk about meeting up with the conference for He Leads in Benton in September, one of the great things is just being able to come together to speak into a group of men that really want to help lead and take leadership to the next level. I tell you, Chris, one of the things that I run into with a challenge that a lot of leaders face today is a myth, if you will, that's been perpetrated by good-meaning people through the years, especially through the ranks of HR and leadership, that has said when it comes to leading, the thing that we have to do is treat everyone equally. And I know people mean well by that, but that's really not leadership. We can't treat people equally. And I'm not talking about equality of treating people with fairness and those types of things, but it was Albert Einstein that was attributed to the quote that talked about, if you treat a fish, or if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it'll live its whole life believing it's stupid. And it's interesting that we treat people that way rather than relying on their different strengths and on their different forms of communication. And what you end up with is a leader that starts to communicate to people in one way. And there's a certain group of people that then feel like, oh, that's so great, and that leader connected with me well, but potentially 3/4 of the people they're leading feel alienated by that. So it's one of the reasons I'm so passionate about coming into an environment, helping a leader understand, when I talk about a communication model, to learn to speak 4 simple languages, and if they do that, they can connect to their entire audience and lead people at a higher level, and it not only gets the job done, but it begins to inspire people to be more, to do more, just to become more.
Yeah, I love that. I'm trying to get a better signal. I don't know if you're breaking up just because I'm here in the hospital or what. So I'm trying to come over here where there's a signal, because you said a lot of good stuff, and I don't want to miss that. So I'm hoping it's not too much of an issue on my end. So I just, the connection thing and just kind of like our place, all that stuff, man, is just so important. I mean, if there's going to be, I mean, you pretty much already gave us like, what's the takeaway, right? I mean, the takeaway was right in what you were saying. But I mean, if there was one thing that you could say is going to be implemented immediately by any of these guys walking out the door, like right then and there, is going to impact, change their life personally and professionally. What is one thing that you are just very confident is absolutely going to impact them?
Well, one of the funny things is if you say there's one thing someone is going to learn, it's that there's more than one way you have to lead an organization. And it comes from a perspective of not changing who we are as individuals or changing who we are as a leader. But the biggest takeaway is that you'll learn to be able to recognize the different characteristics that some people show just through their behavior, right? Through their personality style, through how they communicate. And if you just simply adapt, we always say you're not changing the message, you're changing the delivery mechanism. And if you change that delivery mechanism, you can relate to people at a higher level. I'll tell you, Chris, I've heard some leaders say, but I don't have time to do all that. Well, I tell you this, as a leader, you'll get a lot more accomplished if you'll stop alienating the other 90% of the people that not only work for you, but buy from you and your customer base.
Wow. I love that. Wow. I mean, I think I think you could just do a whole lesson on just that last part right there, not alienating, everybody around you. Oh, wow. I mean, that's giving me pause. Like I'm sitting here and I'm just thinking, what was that? Like just in this couple minutes, you've given some absolute gold that going into this conference, like I am excited about hearing you, seeing what you're going to bring. I don't think these guys even know, based on our conversation stuff, just what you're about to bring to the table. And you're speaking right to my heart, man. And this is exactly what He Leads is about getting men in, that the atmospheric shift, if you will, of regaining our position, not as control freaks and oh, we're the men, but understanding our role in the society and like you said, not alienating, not even in our workplace, but not alienating our family, our children, our spouses. I mean, you said alienate, and immediately just brought me to a place with my family and friends and stuff in my past where I've seen that, and even recently where there's that issue, and you got to go self-reflect. I think one of the greatest things that you're bringing to the table is, man, you're making me self-reflect here in this interview. I can only imagine what's going to happen in September, but that self-reflection of, okay, am I able as a man to hold myself accountable, to take ownership for my actions and what I've done and make the change I need to make in order to not do exactly what you just said? So, wow.
Right. Well, the good thing, Chris, is this. When we take people to a place where they can begin to recognize the different communication styles, right, that people have in the model of human behavior, and they start to be able to identify them and recognize them, they come to a place where they first do recognize them, but then they move to, to understanding them, right? When they move to understanding them, it takes us from a place of tolerating others to a place of celebrating others. And that's really what our ultimate goal is.
I love that. I say that last line again. When we go from a place of
tolerating others to celebrating others.
To celebrate. I mean, that's just wow. Like I'm actually mind blown. I love that. I mean, these are going to be lines and quotes that I can see, being spread out across everything. I mean, these are things that guys are going to write down and they're going to start living by. They're going to start recognizing, like, man, am I the problem? And recognize that I am the problem. And that's why I started, this whole He Leads conference was my recognition of me being a problem as a man, not standing up, not owning it, seeing people as an issue and not reversing that and saying, what can I do to uplift up and give them encouragement versus what can I get from them to be encouraged and be uplifted, right?
Absolutely. Well, you think about it, Chris, it goes from a place of, when you talk about who we are, and I always say who we are is how God wired us, And my goal is never to walk in and change someone, right? I see so many trainings that do that. You need to be more of this. You need to be more of that. And I often tell people, you're wired the way God wired you, and I don't believe God made a mistake. I'm not about to tell him he didn't know what he was doing when he wired you a certain way. But
Right.
the beautiful part of that is that even though we're not changing the core of who we are responsible for adapting to others so that we can then connect better with them. And that's where leaders will tell me sometimes, I don't have time to do that. I'm here to tell you, and we're going to show it in a very real, applicable way to the group that's in the room there. You don't have time not to. If
Amen.
you don't adapt, adjust, and connect overall with your entire workforce and customer base, you are drastically limiting your potential. And if you learn to do some of the simple steps you can do to connect with people at a deeper level, you can skyrocket your overall results.
I mean, seriously. Yeah. I mean, and I think the biggest thing that you're saying too, that I relate to it as a man of faith is we don't change who we are, but it's the lies that have been built around that core of who we are that we're stripping away. And I think that's what you're speaking to that to me. Like, I just see the chisels going on that rock of deception, just breaking it down to really expose that core. And like you said, that unlimited potential that we have just to explode in this world, in a positive way. Wow.
Yep.
So what, I mean, what are you looking forward to the most, other than being able to impact these guys at the level that you're talking right here? I mean, what are some things that you're looking forward to, maybe learning from this, or just being a part of this? What are you looking to maybe pull from this? You know what I mean?
Well, first and foremost, Chris, it's funny. I'm never most looking forward to getting up and sharing what I'm going to share, because I always say this: I know what I know already. What I look forward to is the fact that I know that there's a great, solid group of presenters that are going to present on the entire day. And I tell you this, if you think I'm just going to sit there and say, hey, I'm doing my part later on, right? I'm going to be sitting there with pen and paper, learning from some of the people that are there, because leaders are learners, right? And I hope not only just for us, but for everyone that's there in the audience, that we come there ready to, implement or take away a few key points that we can immediately walk out and implement, take right back to our business on a daily basis, and say, I can apply that immediately, right? We're not there to just do an information dump, right? It's a big difference between information and application. And I know from the conversations we've had and with some of the other presenters, what is going to be shared. I'm most excited about knowing that throughout that day, we are going to be learning things that are applicable, that we can immediately leave and apply. So it's not just a bunch of information, it's application.
Wow. There you go. Yeah, given actionable steps that they can actually take right there. Yeah, I love it. I love it. Wow, powerful, man. I'm excited about it. So September 8th, right? September 8th there in Benton, Arkansas at the Benton Event Center. So basically, we just need to get this out there, get people excited about this like we are. And that's why we're doing these videos and these interviews, is kind of get people to be aware of who's speaking, where their heart's at, where they're coming from, what are some of the things that we're going to be talking about, so they can start getting excited and start telling their friends and get signed up. Because guys, it's limited seating. We don't have unlimited seating available. So you've got to get in on this sooner rather than later. And the pricing also changes in August. It goes up.
Right, August 1st, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, so we want to get this out. We want to put this in your hands and give you an opportunity to really learn. Like Chris said, leaders are learners. So if you're a leader, come here and garner from these guys. And we're not up there as the experts per se. We're there learning just alongside of you. We're going to go and interact with everybody. We're going to talk. We're going to learn from each other. That's what this is all about. We don't grow in a bubble. We grow in community, I feel, and challenging each other and encouraging each other. So what a blessing.
We have to stay and interact with them the whole day, Chris?
What's that?
We have to stay and interact with people the whole day? No, I'm just kidding. That was a joke for your audience there. Absolutely, we're going to stay and interact.
You got to keep that, man. You've got to laugh. You got to have fun with it. I mean, and that's one thing I'm excited about too, because all the guys are fun. I mean, everybody has a good time, cracks jokes like that. You caught me off guard with that.
This is right. What?
So I'm excited, man. Any last minute things you want to say before we cut off here? Because I do got to celebrate with my Toastmasters team here in a minute, but
You bet.
I want to give you the floor to say whatever you need to say, man. I appreciate you being on with us.
Hey, well, let me just say this, obviously, to the group and to the people that I know you have in your network watching. I'm excited to be a part of the entire group that's going to be speaking at the He Leads Conference in Benton, Arkansas on September 8th. You really should be a part of it. As Chris said, it is limited seating, so you want to make sure that you grab your tickets. I'm assuming what you'll do is go down into the comments of this feed after the fact and make sure that there's a link, right? That they can go right to the registration page and register to make it easy for everybody. But there's certain things, right? When you get an opportunity to be in an environment and surround yourself in a growth environment, you've got to make sure that you do that. And one of the things that that requires is you just take the opportunity to take advantage when those things are there. So I know a lot of folks are traveling there, but especially in the Saline County area, Central Arkansas. I highly encourage folks to get out here and to be a part of it, but it'll be fun.
Absolutely. I'm excited, man. So I appreciate you coming on here. We'll do another one of these, especially with each of the speakers in the next month or two. Just get back on, and we'll get more and more excited. We'll get you guys more and more excited. And by the time this thing comes, man, people are going to know what to do with themselves. So I'm ready. I'm ready.
There you go, my friend. We'll see you soon.
And then I'll be out in Arkansas in actually the first week of August. It switched on me. So I know you're going to be out of town. But if you are happen to be around, I'd love to see you for a day. But if not, we'll see you again, at least on Facebook Live before I get you up there.
Awesome. You bet, my friend. See you soon.
All right, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah, take care, Chris.
Bye-bye, guys.